Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. Once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, baby. It's Friday. It's the weekend. We're up early and often, bud. Let's go, huh?
We got the homemade coffee. We got Baker Mania. We got Nimmo Mania. Let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. A back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Cy-Yo, nada, where did that land?
Smoke to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires, out at first.
There it goes, see ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
All right, Tony. So was a lot of discussion yesterday. The Mets, what are they doing next? We heard a lot about Nimmo. They get the deal done. 8 years, $162 million. Your instant reaction, sir?
I mean, definitely a longer contract than I would have thought for him. But honestly, after they signed it, I think I was pretty happy. But, we talked about Nimmo a lot and how much he improved just as an outfielder, as a person in general. He's also someone who very much, wants to play for the Mets. And that does go a long way. And again, like I was saying, someone who's improved every year he's been with the Mets, which, I mean, I suppose, that's, it's a really good sign that he's not necessarily on the decline. He's 29 years old
29,
now, right?
Yep.
So definitely locking him in for a while. I am hoping, as the Mets are as well, that he continues to kind of improve, past few years. It was 2019, his batting average was a 221. It was horrible,
it was
right?
A tough year.
But then, he picks it up, 2020 to 280. Then, you have kind of like the weird COVID year, of course, 2021 here. It's 292, and then 2022 ends with a 274 after having a big start to the season. So I think again, he's trending kind of upward here. So hey man, I'm all for it. We needed the outfielder. I think to lock him in for a while is probably a good, again, betting on that he's getting better every year as long as the numbers keep trending upward. I'm all about it.
Yeah. And I we were texting about it last night, and the whole thing is, it's all about him like continuing to ascend upward. And if you're getting a guy that's going to hit, for a high average, get on base a lot, score a lot of runs, play gold glove defense, do that consistently year in and year out, it'll make this, contract worth it. My biggest kind of question and just wonder is like what his power potential is. What do you see the ceiling as in terms of home runs for him?
I'm just looking at his previous numbers. They weren't anything crazy
because he hasn't even hit 20, right?
No, this past season was 16, and his career high 17. So I think that there's, again, some place for improvement there. But if he maybe hits 20, I think that's doable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And like I said, the defense and the on base and all that.
Yeah. The average.
That's the type of stuff that wins you games. And I think it's one of those things too, where, deep down, you wanted to keep him. So even though, the dollars, the years might be a stretch, the fact that you don't have to look at him on another team and that he's on your team, at least in the short term, is a good feeling. So I think this year is just all that important.
Exactly.
And, we've seen this go both ways. Sometimes, you sign a guy to a contract like this. First year, it seems like a bargain. He has such a good year.
Right.
Other times, you kind of get the opposite, and you think about initially when the Mets signed Carlos Beltran, that big deal at the time. Now, how big of a deal would that even be?
Right.
But it was like, oh my God, like, did we get ripped off? Like, he's
Mhm.
no good. And then he ended up being, one of the better Mets, in the mid to early 2000s.
Right. Yeah. And like you were saying, I mean, the last thing we would have wanted is for him to be like traded to the Phillies or picked up by the Phillies.
Oh,
yeah. It would have been like so
tough.
annoying, dude.
That would have been tough. Oh, no. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was saying too, I mean, as I, was saying before too, he really wants to be a Met. He was a Met basically his entire career. So, I mean, I think that does speak a lot for having, passion to play for the team. Because yesterday, I was definitely watching DeGrom, put on the Rangers jersey and talk about the goal is winning a World Series here and everything. And honestly, it kind of seemed like, especially obviously someone asked him about the Mets, special place in my heart, whatever. He seemed kind of full of shit, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people on the Fan and other forums of New York media were calling him out for that saying, it's a load of bull. And just the fact that you're gonna go to Texas to win a World Series. The only thing I would say is I don't know if it's that much bull as it's made out to be, just because the fact is they gave out, those 2 huge contracts last offseason. Those guys are good hitters. I know they didn't have the best seasons of their career.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talked about Garcia yesterday. So I do think there actually is some hope. If you think about Martin Perez, you think about them bringing Heaney, everything going right, this could be a team that actually contends for the playoffs. So it's not that far off, and free agency is not over.
Yeah, it's not that far off, but I mean, let's take it easy. We have a couple comments here, Brian.
The one, the only, Artemi Panarin.
Michael says, wow, Sunrise and Sportsport, no better combo.
That's our guy there, Michael Theophil, always hitting it on the head. And I know he is just churning for baseball season.
Dude.
Minimum 5 games, Tony. We might go to 10.
Dude, if we have a great time, I go to 15.
What do you think about? I just feel like this is a non-aggressive goal here. This has nothing to do with baseball. Can we just lock in, like, just saying that in the month of January? What do you think I'm going to say?
Hockey games? What?
Ranger game, yeah.
Ranger game, yeah. Just one?
All I want is one, because like we haven't really had plans to schedule one.
Right.
Just make it a goal. 1 game in January. We got time to plan. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Right?
Dude, I'm so ready. I'm so ready for Jack Dempsey's. Like,
dude.
That was obviously, other than the loss, that was a sick night.
That was dope. Michael says, if you want, let's do it. 6 total, 3 Yanks, 3 Mets to be fair to Tony.
I think he missed the bowling bet.
Yeah, he did.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Because Michael, we're going 2 each, and then a game of bowling. Was it 80 pins you were giving me?
80 pins, yeah.
That sounds ridiculous.
1 warm-up game, and then the handicap starts, baby.
I'm in for Rangers Devils because I want to watch a win. Do you know
for the Rangers?
Is there any more? Do you know?
Yeah, definitely,
Devils,
dude.
Rangers at the Garden.
Let's look up the New York Rangers.
No, the funny thing is, obviously, it's not really like a road trip, but I can see you guys going, "Oh, we'll go to New Jersey. That'll be a sick road trip,
dude." Yeah, vlog it, dude.
Schedule
right here.
I want to say 1, but it's like timing's everything.
Where are we here? We're in December.
At New Jersey versus New Jersey, December 12th. Is there any ones in January? No.
January's in,
so it would have to be
Jersey.
Oh, and that's when I'm in Jamaica, January 7th.
Oh, wow. And then at Jersey again
Jersey
in March, and that's it.
So the 12th is what, Monday? No, wait, when is that?
The 12th is 3 days from now, which is Sunday?
No, Monday.
Monday? Yeah.
Well, dude, Monday.
So do Monday, dude. Well, January we can hit. Let's see, dude. We can get Columbus, Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's at Columbus. Oh, dude, we can do against your favorite team, Boston Bruins, January 19th.
Wow. No, but honestly,
Seattle.
No, but I'm kind of down for Columbus. Goudreau will be there, and then tickets at $21.
No, sorry, it's in Columbus. It's at Columbus.
What do we got for like a bargain bin home game?
Minnesota, Dallas, $69.
Dallas, $69.
That
No,
seems
that's
to be the cheap. Vancouver, $64. February though. Okay, so then we can do. Listen, January 27th, Vegas, $91.
Vegas would actually be kind of sick.
Vegas would be kind of sick, dude. Yeah.
So we'll maybe circle that.
Yeah, let me just circle that.
All right. Fair enough, Tony. Fair enough.
January 27th.
And I don't know how we got there. Oh, let's see. Never New Jersey Barnes. LOL. We could
Never New Jersey.
Wait, what does he mean there?
Like never go to New Jersey.
Oh, I thought he was saying like that I didn't want to go to the Devils Center or Prudential
The
Center.
Devils Center.
No, I would go. I mean,
You would go. It's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah. No, dude, I love just like seeing new arenas, new parks. It's awesome.
It's not that bad. It's like you can, walk around the whole thing and there's just like Devils memorabilia everywhere. It's cool.
Is it right next to the airport?
No, I don't think so.
I'm trying to think of what is it. So is it closer to Giants Stadium than or MetLife than
the airport?
Yeah. Or is it just kind of like
they're kind of the same. I mean,
in between.
MetLife is right next to like Newark Airport.
Okay.
So.
No, because they used to have, remember the Izod Center, and I think the Devils used to
Oh
play
my
there.
God. Yeah, the
And the
Izod
Nets
Center.
played
That
there
was
as well.
by the Meadowlands.
Yeah, right next door.
Yeah.
He said he's down to go to a game in Jersey. So either one. So
we can probably stay at Renee's, after maybe.
Yeah. So either way, we'll figure it out. But I'm just pumped to go to an NHL game. The environment, but that's I guess but the Devils will be fired up. I was gonna say I love the Ranger crowd.
Yeah,
dude. I mean it is sick. Like
he goes,
I'm trying to think. Was that a weekday or no?
Definitely a weekday. I think it was like Thursday.
Dude, I would have thought that was a Saturday.
Literally.
Though. You know what I mean? It was popping the bar after. There was a ton of people
I know.
there.
Oh my God, dude! I almost forgot about going to the bar.
No bar. No, I feel like it was a Friday.
You think?
I don't know. Would it be that like popping on a weekday? I just feel like
yeah, dude.
I don't know why I have Friday in my mind.
It's
but
Manhattan. This isn't Stanford, Brian.
Oh my God. All right, dude. The only other Met thing to mention was 1 year, $10 million deal. Former Yankee great David Robertson. What are your thoughts there? Good season last year. Obviously getting up there in age.
Right. No, you mentioned good season. I looked at his numbers last night. I was actually pretty surprised. His ERA was like a what? Like a 2.6, 2.2,
2.4,
2.4. I love that. Again, I was saying yesterday, need a bullpen guy.
Right.
He seems to be our guy. Although you did mention the age, he's 37, right?
Continuing the theme
of older guys here. But hey, man,
that's just another game.
If it works, yeah. If it works, it works. Maybe modern technology, science, physical therapy. I mean, these players seemingly can get older and produce some good numbers here. So, keep it coming, dude. I'm happy with that. 1 year too. Like, come on.
And I have to say, I know he had 20 saves last year, was a closer, but I've always really liked Robertson as like a seventh inning guy. I just think sometimes later in the game he kind of gets into trouble because of some home runs, but I don't think you could get a better seventh inning guy. And I'm trying to think too, primarily for the Mets last season, who was the eighth inning guy?
Probably like Lugo.
Okay. Yeah. So, but I would guess it'll go Robinson the eighth. I mean, I guess it'll be good. I just, I've seen him serve it up a couple times. And I like with the White Sox as the closer, he was kind of inconsistent there too. So I just think as like, why not be the best seventh inning guy out there? I
like that.
I like his stuff. He has very good stuff, hard sinking stuff.
Nice.
A lot of movement. So, no risk there on a 1 year deal. The Red Sox continue on with their peculiar signings here. 2 years, $17.5 million for Chris Martin. 3.05 ERA last year for the Cubs and the Dodgers. So
peculiar.
They go, big money for Martin. Not really big money, but they invest, combined with Martin and Jansen, next season. I mean, that's $25 million of your payroll right there.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting.
I feel like a little rich, no, on the contract.
Yeah, I think a little rich too. And they need a lot more still.
And give me Canely for 2 years and 11.5 over 17.
Yeah, what the hell?
So nothing else to report in terms of signings. Just some traction about, Rodon to the Yankees, Correa to the Giants. Both players are going to command a lot of money, possibly too. Swanson to the Cubs or the Dodgers.
Michael said, "Love his stuff."
Who's he talking about?
That is so funny.
But what do you think out of those three? Players and like who I linked them to, which one do you think is the most likely to sign with that team? So we're talking Correa to the Giants, Rodon to the Yankees, Swanson to the Cubs.
I I mean, I guess I would say Rodon of the Yankees.
It
You
seems
know?
like they're ready.
Yeah.
And because you know what they were saying? It's like, listen, maybe there's concerns about a 6-year deal or even 7. I don't know if they would even go 7, but
You think so?
I think they wanted 4 or 5 initially. And
Yeah, of
obviously,
course.
average annual value
Yeah.
matters. But I think the way you got to look at it too, and they were talking about this on Twitter, it's like no matter if it's an overpay or not, but if you're getting a pitcher and he's going to win a postseason game, it doesn't matter what the cost is. And I think Rodon, if he's healthy, is a pretty good bet to do that. And I just think the top of the rotation, Cole, Rodon, and then you're in a situation where Severino's your 4 starter. I mean, I think with Nestor as your 3, that puts you in a pretty good spot.
How much do you think he's going to want?
They were talking about 6 years, 180, potentially upwards of $200 million. So
Yeah.
maybe you go 6 years, 180, vesting option for the 7th year.
Yeah.
To bring it up over 200.
Yeah, I like it.
So
that's not that bad.
Yeah. So,
are you concerned at all about injuries?
No. Because you know what it is, Sonny? You have to just go for it. You look at our window. Sure, we have some younger guys coming up. You know, Volpe, Dominguez, Peraza, Cabrera, Wells. But the thing is, you know, we also have those older guys too, and you know, Judge. Obviously, he's not getting younger. Not that he's old right now, but it's about right now. And I think Rodon, if he gives you 3 dominant years, 3 mediocre years, but in those 3 years, you win a championship or 2, contract's 100% worth it. It's the same thing as when you signed CC Sabathia back in 2009.
How tight would you be if they don't sign him?
I mean, obviously, I'm going to be disappointed.
Backup plan?
See, that's the thing. I think backup plan is a trade. I don't think there's a pitcher out there.
Right, you looked at it yesterday. There was
it's garbage. Please, no Syndergaard. Oh my God, I would rather have Clark Schmidt.
Dude, Noah Syndergaard to the Yankees. No, what happened? I thought you were all like kind of high and mighty on him.
Well, no, you know what it is, because it's I would welcome Noah Syndergaard to the Yankees if Rodon is signed, because then it's like, yeah, we're just going to see if he has anything left. Maybe experiment with putting him as a reliever, which I still think might not be the worst idea. I can see the velocity coming back up, effectiveness coming back up, strikeout rate coming up.
If he wants it, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, you know,
I question his drive, dude.
But I think he doesn't want to be the pitcher he was last year.
No,
that's just like
a
5-starter hanging on
kind
for
of
dear
trash.
life at 30 years old. You know? I don't know.
This guy of the league, man.
Yeah, it could be. This year's big year for sure. But let's go now to the world of the National Football League.
Sets for 101, 2 touchdowns. To Evans, touchdown, Tampa Bay.
How about that throw?
Sam Darnold blasted. Oh my goodness, did he take a hit?
In trouble once, brings him down. Lost one for Odell Beckham Jr. Got it down, touchdown.
All right, Tony. So what started out as a snooze fest last night in Los Angeles, we saw a furious comeback by the Los Angeles Rams, you know, entering the 4th quarter, down 13-3, win this game with 10 seconds remaining, 17-16. Baker Mayfield, of all people, entered the game after the first drive where they went 3 and out. Leads them on a 98-yard drive to win this game, hitting Van Jefferson from 23 yards out for the score. You look at the final line for Mayfield, 22 of 35, 203 yards, 1 touchdown. His top target on the game, Ben Skoranek, 7 receptions, 89 yards. And me and you were talking about this before the show where, you know, as soon as we saw him enter this game, it did look like, wow, like he's making some throws, you know, and obviously the Rams have been in shambles, but it did seem like he just kind of was more comfortable, had more time to throw than he did in Carolina. So I think, you know, I mean, he was sacked 4 times, didn't turn it over. QBR was 59.8, average is 50, so slightly above average here. And it just seems like for a guy that's, you know, struggling to find his footing in the league after being the number 1 overall pick, you know, this would be what I think 6 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was. You know, he is struggling to see, you know, what is his future. I mean, I don't know if you could land in a better place at this point in the season where there can't be trades than Los Angeles. Obviously, they're coming off a Super Bowl, not having a good year at all this year, but you're with a coach like Sean McVay, and I know you're missing Cooper Kupp. But you do have some decent weapons on this team, and it probably is, even at 4-9, probably the best situation he's been with just in terms of the head coach of his career. I know, Stefanski's not bad with Cleveland, but who knows? Just kind of watching this game, what I would say, and my advice would be, if you're not going to stick here, and he's had a lot of different coaches, coordinators throughout his career, he's got to go somewhere where I think the thing he needs to prioritize is a good organization and a good coaching staff, not so much a chance to start. We saw that do him in Carolina, and you have to wonder if he had gone to Seattle instead of Carolina, would he be having a better year like Geno Smith's having? So I think for him, this was really good and a good moment. He said it was up there with the top moments of his career. After the game, but but I think the bigger story in my eyes anyway is the collapse of the Raiders here. And it just seems like Josh McDaniels and company just want to do everything they can to blow this season. McDaniels possibly to get fired. Is this Derek Carr's last season in Las Vegas? A terrible game, 11 of 20, 137 yards. Devontae Adams only had 3 catches, 71 yards, a nice 35-yard one-handed catch. But that's just not enough volume out of him. Josh Jacobs, effective early, tapered off late, had 99 yards rushing. He's up to almost 1,400 yards rushing on the season, which is very impressive out of him. But this really helps out the Jets too. The Raiders are one of those teams. They went out, they could put some pressure on the Jets for that last wild card spot. And he's actually has 1,402 yards rushing, Josh Jacobs. So very good pace there. Good timing too with the walk here coming up. Obviously, we know running backs are devalued. But in your eyes, is the bigger story here? Tony, the kiss of death for the Raiders losing this game, or the fact that maybe Tony, Baker has something left in the tank? The Raiders.
Honestly, just looking at it right now, personally, I kind of thought, I kind of knew Carr was like kind of trash. Right. The Raiders are kind of done. So I guess I would say, the fact that maybe Baker has some more left in the tank. Again, of course, there's the narrative with Baker is almost like Johnny Manziel-esque. And of course, during the broadcast, which Amazon, I think, did a pretty poor job.
How about the volume with the talking?
Oh my God, dude, so bad. Dude, and there was one segment where literally, like, I forget who they were talking about, the Rams like third string quarterback who was like listening.
Bryce Perkins.
Yeah. And they just like cut to like a full screen photo of him where he's just like this, and it was like his like traffic through his headset of a play.
Yeah.
And it was just like 30 seconds of him going, Ace, Astros.
No. That was Wolford.
That was Wolford. Yeah.
Dude, I swear to God, when I heard that, I thought that was a call from outer space.
Yeah. Like, what do you think? Like, there was no production value behind that thing. It was a horrible idea. I don't know who thought of that. I don't know who said that was okay. Anyway, though, if you have the sun poking through, I think Baker maybe having some of the tank is I think is a good storyline. You said it too. In the post game, he's like, "This is a great moment for me." I think he is coming out here almost humbled a little bit.
Oh yeah,
definitely kind of getting a gut check. With his past 2 teams he's with the Browns and with the Panthers. Realizing that it's just because first round, highly touted pick here. Out of college doesn't really mean anything now because he's had a few years in the league where it was oh man, like I didn't like I had an issue with Odell, like get him out of here. He doesn't really do it. It still doesn't produce, But I think with having McVay, maybe a coach who not necessarily who's like a young coach, but understands what it is to to be a young player in the NFL, someone who he can kind of like relate to and resonate with on a personal level, I think will kind of help him, drop his ego, act, humbled that he's even playing the game still. And then he can kind of focus on just improving, week after week. And again, I think the Rams are in kind of a spot where they could very much use him. So I think it's a perfect situation for him. And I would absolutely love to see him almost like, reinvent himself in LA here.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because Stafford, with his injury, I think there's some nerve issue too. Right. They're not ruling it out that he could retire potentially.
Right. There was talk of him retiring even like beginning of this year, right?
Yeah.
Off season.
Yeah. So, that's kind of interesting just to see. But I think, it's just bringing someone in the building, someone with that first overall pedigree, and just Sean McVay, kind of trying to work his magic like he's done with other guys before. So definitely interesting for sure. But that was Thursday Night Football, Week 14. But you know what time it is, Tony. NFL Frenzy
Oh
time.
my God,
Cue
dude.
up the music.
Here we go, buddy. Just for you. Where's the music?
Could we get some music? Do we have music?
You. Thank you. All right, so let's go. Let's start here. Oh, boy, it's Sunday. It's week 14, Brian. Week 14. Oh, 1 o'clock. We're starting off with Brian's game of the day already, baby. It's the New York Jets in Buffalo, the Highmark Stadium. Bills are 9-3, 4-1 at home. Jets 7-5. Tough loss for Mike White here. How does he bounce back?
Well, I think he bounces back for a number of reasons. One being, this is really a pivotal game in the Jets season here, sitting at 7-5, hanging on to that wild card spot. You got the Patriots playing on Monday night in the rearview mirror. If the Jets were to lose, Patriots win, Patriots would move into that third and final spot. Not to mention, you have road games in Miami and Seattle to finish the year. So you just have to get wins where you can. And of course, Lions and Jags coming up. But what a better way to cement your spot here down the stretch than defeating the Bills. You defeated them at home 20-17. And I think the formula is somewhat similar here. I wouldn't be surprised, if we have a couple more points put on the board. Obviously, virtue of Mike White being in there instead of Zach Wilson. I think he was probably 130 yards passing. Whatever the case may be, last time these two teams met. But I think it's just one of those things where, you want your offense not to lose your game, and you want your defense to win the game because you have to keep Allen, Diggs, the Bills in check. Gabe Davis down the field. There's a lot of things to defend here. Allen running the ball, which he did a good job last time, but really tapered off with his passing in the second half. And I think that's what you want to do here is just, put a lot of pressure on Allen. Don't give him a lot of time to throw. Cover the receivers down the field. And I just think Buffalo being favored here by 10 is ridiculous. Just the fact that the Jets won this game outright last time. This should be maybe a 7-point spread, 6.5, whatever you want to call it. But I do think Mike White, after a tough defeat at the hands of the Minnesota Vikings last week, will rally the troops here. This is a game where I could see the Bills being up 17-10 at half. The Jets holding, the Bills maybe to 3 points in the second half, kind of the way they did last time these two teams played. And I think I could see, the Jets winning this one 23-20. Over the Buffalo Bills. The magic of Mike White continues. Another 300-yard passing game. Doesn't turn it over after throwing 4 interceptions last year in Buffalo.
Absolutely love it. Speaking of we have another 1 o'clock game here on CBS, and we have the Cleveland Browns in Cincinnati against the Bengals. Bengals 8-4 now. Joe Burrow seemingly have so much time in the pocket. Does Nick Chubb and the Browns have what it takes to counteract Joe Burrow?
So it's kind of interesting. Offensively, the Browns last week, despite getting Deshaun Watson back, really looked inept, and their defense won them that game, 2 defensive touchdowns. And you think about the fact, too, that obviously Joe Burrow, we know what he is, making it to the Super Bowl last year, former number 1 overall pick, Heisman, national champion, all of that. He's actually never beat the Browns in his career. He lost in Cleveland this year, 32-13, a complete blowout. And I actually think the Browns, once again, will have his number. It's just one of those things where they know how to play him. I think the key for the Browns is, don't put Deshaun Watson in harm's way. Let the best running back in the game, Nick Chubb, do his thing. He already has 1,100 yards, over 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns this season. So I think it's ground and pound, pressure on Burrow, really get through that Bengals offensive line. I think this is a low-scoring one, but at the end of the day, the Browns squeak it out. Cade York from 45 in the win, 20-17, Browns over the Bengals.
What a game. Let's go to our next one now. 1 o'clock on FOX. We have the Houston Texans in Arlington AT&T Stadium. Your Dallas Cowboys, who are 9-3. Dallas is at minus 17.5.
Are you sure that's right?
Jerry Jones, are you hammered?
So that is the highest spread in the NFL season up to this point. And this reminds me, honestly, of last week on Sunday Night Football, the Cowboys hosting the Colts. It's like you can't overthink it. We've seen what we've seen all season, and I know the Texans are going back to Davis Mills here after trying Kyle Allen for a couple games. It doesn't matter. They're 1-10-1 for a reason. And while Dameon Pierce is a nice running back, not nearly enough here. The Cowboys can do whatever they want on the Texans defense, running, throwing. We know what Tony Pollard does. Zeke looks like he has a little more pep the last couple of weeks. CeeDee Lamb has had a nice season, closing in on another 1,000-yard receiving season. So give me Dallas here in a laugher, 35-7.
Oh, laugher, baby. All right, our next game here. By the way, I like this. This is a good song. This is a good one, dude.
Yep.
Let's go. 1 o'clock still on FOX. The Minnesota Vikings, who are 10-2, however, still calling fraudulent, are in Detroit against the 5-7 Lions. Detroit -2 here. I would imagine a fan favorite for Brian, but it's Ford Field. It's Detroit. Dalvin Cook, I feel like, for Minnesota has been cooking in the backfield. But what do you think, Brian?
So there's some, logic about teams with 10 wins that are underdogs versus teams that are under 500. The teams that with 10 wins have never won the game, they're 0-8, whatever it is.
No way.
I don't buy into that. I don't care. Listen, the Lions are a good story this year. After a rough start, Campbell's got them playing well. Jared Goff is playing some of the best football in his career this year. So they actually have a decision. Do they want to keep him moving forward and kind of build around him? Jamal Williams has done a good job running the ball. But the thing is, the Vikings are 10-2, and I understand point differential, fraudulent, this and that. But I just think in Detroit, against a weak defense, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins not having to deal with a very talented defense, I think that's enough. And I think the Vikings, in a very high-scoring game, squeak this one out 34-31.
All right, buddy. Next game here. 1 o'clock, still 1 o'clock. Man, it feels like these 1 o'clock games go on forever, buddy.
Got a couple more, bud.
But we have the Jacksonville Jaguars in Tennessee against the Titans. Titans -3.5. Trevor Lawrence hasn't practiced all week here, so I would assume he's not playing after that really rough hit last week. So what do you think?
Interesting stuff, with the Lawrence angle. And the thing is, Ryan Tannehill will play, but that ankle has given him trouble all season. So I think, this is a situation where they're really going to lean on Derrick Henry. And I think, it has to be a game where Henry goes for $150. Maybe Tannehill only throws for $150. But I think that's the formula. Lawrence or not, Jacksonville this year, one thing they've shown you is you can't count on them. So I think this is a low-scoring game. But give me the Titans here, 17-7.
All right, let's go. Brian's next up, game of the day as well. You have the Philadelphia Eagles in the Meadowlands. It's East Rutherford, New Jersey, Brian, against the Giants. Eagles 11-1, Giants 7-4, trying to make the playoffs, possibly, upset a few Eagles fans here. Philly -7, Brian.
Last 5 games for the Giants, 1-3-1. That one win against the Texans of all teams, and you're coming off a game against the Commanders where you missed a field goal at the end for the win with getting that tie. But the Giants just seem like they're trending in the wrong direction here. The Eagles seem like they're trending in the right direction. The Eagles have been the Giants' nemesis really even since the Eli Manning days. You look at the Eagles, 11-1 for a reason, and just so much to deal with offensively. Who's covering A.J. Brown? You have to worry about Devonta Smith as well. I like what Miles Sanders does out of the backfield. Jalen Hurts throwing and running. I think you look at that, and I think it's all too much for the Giants to defend here. So give me the Eagles here, 28-17.
Oh, man, that's tough. Always going against the Giants. Anyway, our final
I told you the Mets football for me.
Final 1 o'clock game here. CBS, your Baltimore Ravens are going to be in the Steel City, baby. Pittsburgh Steelers at home. They're 2-3 at home on the season. They're -2 in this game as the Ravens 4-2 on the road. Definitely some trouble, closing out games in the fourth quarter here. But what do we think about it?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the fourth quarter, they've been playing like the Raiders, and Steelers have looked good here, winning the last couple of games. Ravens expected to go with Tyler Huntley at quarterback. You got Lamar Jackson nursing an injury. But the funny thing is we've seen so many different quarterbacks play in this rivalry. Huntley started games. You think about for the Steelers, Mason Rudolph started game. Michael Vick has started games. Even, Josh Dobbs has started games. They've thrown out, obviously Big Ben all these years, but he was injured a lot. But it seems like no matter who the quarterback is, this is a close game. This is a low-scoring game. And I think we're going to see that here. Two offenses, for the most part, especially you think about, for the good chunk of the year, struggling to score. So this is yet another low-scoring game. So I'm going to say give me the Steelers here at home, 13-10 over the Ravens in a dogfight.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Chokery's pumped 6-7.
Oh, wow.
In play for the playoffs.
Oh, let's reset the music here because it's time for the midday time slot, baby. 4:05. That is right. My favorite time to watch a football game. CBS, the Kansas City Chiefs are in Denver against the Broncos. I want this to be a bloodbath, Brian.
It should be a bloodbath. And the thing is, it is pathetic the level that the Denver Broncos have played this season. And do you know, Tony, right now, the Broncos sit here at 3-9, one of the better defenses in the league, the worst offense in NFL history. If that worst offense in NFL history had averaged 18 points per game, they would be 10-2. Instead, they're 3-9.
So disgusting.
Russell Wilson can't, hit a receiver like water falling out of a boat. It's really just pathetic. And I think this is a game that maybe gets a coach fired. Honestly, I know their defense has played well, but I don't think they're going to give Mahomes too much trouble here. I honestly think this is 42-10. It potentially Hackett walking papers after the game.
Oh my gosh.
One of the biggest disappointments as far as a team we've seen in the last few years.
Nobody's riding over there in Denver. Our next game, 4:25 time slot now. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be in San Francisco, the Levi Stadium. The Christian McCaffrey. Was it Purdy, the Purdy, dude.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant is right. But can he, maybe rustle a few feathers here? Will Tom Brady be tight after this one, Brian? He's got a new girlfriend, by the way? New girlfriend?
Yeah, I saw murmurs
Young
of that.
Model, crazy.
Oh, what a surprise.
What a surprise.
So this is going to surprise you, but I'm actually going to go with Tommy here. And some of that has to do with Purdy playing quarterback. I think the other part of it has to do with the fact that the Bucs have been so bad. They're desperate. Sure, more than likely they're going to win this division, but Brady's hungry for more than that. And I think there's always been something personal that he's, kind of taking these games against the 49ers, his hometown team growing up. Obviously, they didn't draft him. They drafted Giovanni Cavarzi instead.
Who's that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who I believe played at Hofstra, if I'm not mistaken, who doesn't even have a football program anymore. But I just think, the Niners have been rolling. They're winners of 5 in a row. And I think, just this is a game where the moment maybe becomes a little too big for Brock Purdy.
Right.
This is probably yet another low-scoring game, another ugly game for the Bucs. But I think they figure out a way to win. Give me Tommy leading them down the field, late drive at the end of the game, 17-13, a touchdown pass to Mike Evans with 10 seconds remaining. The Bucs alive and well at 7-6.
I think first time this season you went with the Bucs.
Probably.
Probably.
No, I probably picked them.
No, yeah, you probably did. But anyway, let's go. Our second 4:25 time slot game here on Fox. The last midday game here. We have the Carolina Panthers in Seattle, Lumen Field against the Seahawks here. Geno Smith against Sam Darnold. What's going on here, Brian?
The battle of the former Jet greats. This is another surprise for you. I'm going to actually go with the Panthers. Kenneth Walker nursing an injury. We saw Seattle last week almost lose to the Rams, and that was obviously pre-Baker Mayfield. Seattle just has been kind of inconsistent the last month or so. For whatever reason, after a great start, Sam Darnold, has looked decent upon his return from injury. So let's say yet another low-scoring game. I'm gonna say 20-17. Panthers win it on a game-winning field goal from 45 yards at the buzzer.
All right, let's go. Last game of the day, baby. 8:20 p.m. prime time. NBC. Your Miami Dolphins, SoFi Stadium. The Chargers. Miami's taking 3 points here. Over under 52.5. Brian, what do you think?
Another game where, the Dolphins, they didn't look good against the Niners. Bounce back spot for them. The Chargers just lost to the Raiders of all people last week. How do you not take Miami? I'm going to go with the Chargers. I just think, once again, we've seen Miami struggle in second half of seasons. This is a big game for both the quarterbacks. You think about where they were drafted in the respective draft and how everyone, the Dolphins should have taken Justin Herbert. And I think Justin Herbert shows them why he should have taken them. And he's bowed through a lot this year. But I'm going to say, give me the Chargers here, 31-21 over the Miami Dolphins, an upset on Sunday Night Football.
Absolutely love it. How do you not take Miami? I'll take the Chargers.
Well, because you have to do that, Tony. When you were going, pick every game for the NHL, you have to mix things up a little bit. So as far as 3 winners, Tony, what do you got?
All right, well, give me the Dolphins.
All right.
I'll take the Chiefs. Nice easy one, and then give me the Giants in the upset.
All right, 1 second. Of course,
reset it. The loading, the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi here is horrible past few days.
Yeah, I feel like we had a good run, and then what happens?
Yeah, well, it's good. I'm hardwired in, so
okay.
I'm decent, but you're not decent.
All right. So if you would one more time.
Miami.
Yep.
Kansas City.
Yep.
The G-Men.
Interesting. All right. So I'm going to take the Jets. I am going to take the Cowboys. And let's see, for my last one here, give me Jeez, this is actually a little bit tricky. Sayonara. Give me the Titans. Take a little sabbatical. I just think the Jags are a mess. We're gonna ride them till it hurts us too much.
Got a few comments for you, Brian, from your favorite person. Michael says, I hate to say it, NFL rigged. Brady winning another one. And extra fuel to the fire. Antonio Brown recently with Giselle in a Giselle, I'm assuming, in a photo that surfaces of the two of them in bed. What?
Yeah, I don't know.
In bed?
You never know when stuff's photoshopped, who's who, what's what. But of course, we know all we can say with certainty, Tony, is we wouldn't put it past AB.
No, absolutely
That's all
not,
we can say. Or Giselle, for that matter.
Oh, come on, Giselle. That's tough. But you know what? I mean, like I was saying, Tom Brady was floating around the new girl at the stadium wearing his jersey.
Yeah. And I was just going to ask you, which game are you looking forward to most this Sunday?
Probably Jets Bills, honestly.
Yeah. You think it's going to be a dogfight or no?
Yeah, I do.
Because they really, that's when Allen got hurt actually last time, was against the Jets. But yeah, I think that's going to be a really good game.
Yeah.
I think Dolphins Chargers will at least start out as a really good game. And I think the Browns Bengals should be a good game. It's just so interesting that Joe Burrow has never beat the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
Browns hanging on for a thread. You win 6-7, never know. A couple of things go your way, and you could be looking pretty good. Push comes to shove, though. Do the Jets win?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Mike White, big game or no?
Big game, yes. Finally, maybe Mike White takes in a couple more times, in the red zone for the TDs. Because again, it was just their play calling was just so piss poor, I thought, in the red zone. It was so weird. Because I think Mike White just gave him more than enough opportunity. And hopefully, they make the necessary adjustments.
Because it's just so refreshing. I mean, he loves just going for it. He attacks vertically down the field and sack Wilson didn't really do that.
And he had just some great throws last week. Like
Yeah.
that fourth down in the fourth quarter was
Yeah.
4th and 10, and he just steps into it. And
And you like how he looks for Garrett Wilson all the time.
Yeah.
He had a huge game. So exciting stuff. And there, just versus like when he first took over, are you a lot more of a believer in him now than you were? Or where are you?
I would say I'm almost like maybe a little bit more of a believer, but I think this week is going to be a
big game. Don't fall for that. You can't mess up. Don't mess up.
Can't mess up.
Don't look it up. But I just think it's the it's poetic justice. I mean, this is the team that sent him to the Pine last year. Took him a while to get back to where he is now, and I just don't think he wants to relinquish this starting spot. Positive momentum, the team pulling for him. There's a lot of stuff pointing his way.
Yeah, I think so.
So can't wait for that.
The taking, Brian.
It is his for the taking. So
Dink
it should
and dunk.
be another exciting NFL Sunday. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Hat-trick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot.
Big hit on the far side by McCarr. He flattens Jordan's skull. Oh, my goodness.
Gets the gun right back. Terrified and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliance from Igor Shesterkin.
It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores the winner in overtime.
Well.
All right, Tony. So it was a light slate last night. We each go 1-1. Nothing too crazy, no Tage Thompson 4 goals in the first period last night. You had the Maple Leafs with that decisive victory. But huge slate tonight and a ton of big games. There are big matchups all over the place. You look at it just going from the top, ESPN.com. One thing I'm interested to see, Sabres against Penguins. Is that a potential upset spot? We saw the Sabres with 9 goals last game. Obviously some momentum. We know you've doubted Pittsburgh this year. We have the Goudreau reunion game in Columbus. Islanders Devils. That should be a really good game from the Prudential Center. We know Michael will be tuned in there. Of course, the Rangers back in action in Colorado, coming off that big win. Last game in Vegas. Can they keep moving forward? I think that's huge. Can Vejmelka pull the upset at home against Boston? Olmark Vejmelka potential matchup. I mean, that's exciting stuff. And that there's some other games. I mean, Kraken Capitals. That's intriguing too, to say the least. So a lot of different things. But let's start off. With this Rangers game here, we know McKinnon's out. It should be, you would think, Shesterkin versus his former understudy in Georgiev. Despite, McKinnon out, we know Kadri's not in the team anymore. Right. What are you anticipating here in Colorado? Is this a dogfight? Is this an overtime game? Is this a shootout game? What are you expecting to see here in Colorado?
It's a good question. So I think
early starts on it.
Yeah. All right. So obviously, McKinnon out for the Avalanche is a huge win already for the Rangers. Honestly, we saw the Avalanche struggle their past few games offensively because of the lack of McKinnon. And then on top of that, the Rangers here are favored at -155 in Colorado. The Avalanche, their record slipped a little bit here, 13-10-1. Obviously not where the Avalanche want to be here. So I'm anticipating a pretty close, tight-knit game. Avalanche still has solid defense. Georgiev has been playing well, in between the pipes for Colorado. Rangers, I think, sticking to that plan of getting perimeter shots onto Georgiev. If memory serves me, I think Georgiev has a little bit of an issue going glove side. So I would imagine the Rangers know that, maybe anticipate that, hit the glove side off it. Again, getting those pucks from the perimeter onto the net, some deflections. That's where the Rangers are gonna be successful here. Colorado, very speedy team, lacks a little bit of size here. I think the Rangers can kind of bully them a little bit. I think that'd be a huge key to success here is just play physical, play out, hit the Avalanche, let them get their skates a little slower as you hit them. And of course, you're bigger than them. So I think you can kind of, bully them a little bit here, get some dirty goals in front of the net. I would say Rangers win this one 3-1. Empty netter at the end there.
Empty netter at the end.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So you will go with the Rangers here, and I just think it's so interesting because last game, was so positive, so much momentum moving forward.
Oh yeah.
And it's just so interesting. I mean, I know, a lot of sports leagues are game to game, week to week, whatever you want to call it. And it's just like if they lose 5-1. Last game doesn't even matter anymore. Yeah. It's so crazy that we've come to that point this early in the year.
Especially like now, like you were saying, past 2 games, huge momentum. McKinnon out. People are expecting a Rangers win now. This isn't, oh man, like Colorado. Oh, I don't know. It's Rangers are going to win this game.
Yeah. I mean, there's really there's no choice. That's what you got to do here. So taking a look at this, for my first pick, I am going to go with the Golden Knights at home against the Flyers. I just think the Golden Knights have been scuffling a little bit. I think the Flyers are a get-right spot. Tough travel going from Philly to Vegas, and I know the Rangers just did it from New York. But I just think the Golden Knights are talented. They're not going to just keep scuffling here. I think Eichel will have 2 goals and an assist. Thompson a better game in net. Give me the Knights here, 5-2 over the Flyers.
Love it. No, 5-2 over the Flyers here. Minus 267. My next game here. Did you mention the Blue Jackets game tonight, by the way?
Goudreau reunion.
I know. I bet on the Blue Jackets before. I bet on Goudreau, and it kind of
never comes up.
Bit me in the ass. But call me crazy here, Brian, because I'm going to bet on Columbus here tonight. 3-game losing streak, getting absolutely fleeced by Buffalo, 9-4. Tage Thompson, tattoos the Blue Jackets, but I think bounce back game. Goudreau against a Calgary team who has struggled to kind of find some chemistry with their own players here. I'm really hoping, again, Goudreau, 28 points in the season, only 9 goals so far. He is going to pop off, I think, sooner or later. I said it last week. I'm saying it now. Calgary at home in Columbus. It makes sense. Give me Columbus winning 3-1 Goudreau hat trick.
Wow, that's bold.
Let's go.
So I think I am gonna go here, which should be a good game in net. I would imagine we would get Vanacek versus Sorokin.
Hell yeah, baby.
At the Prudential Center. Give me the Islanders 2-1 in overtime.
You just don't.
A little awakening call for Michael and the Devils. It's just like Tony. It's baseball. It's football. There's just stretches that you can't win every game. You just can't win every game. And I think that's the biggest thing. The Devils have been impressive, but this is a tough matchup. And this is a rivalry game.
Mm-hmm.
Rivalry games are usually close.
Oh yeah.
So give me the Islanders.
This is gonna be a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
Dude. All right. Whatever, dude. I'll take another dog tonight. Honestly, give me the Wild over Edmonton. The Wild are visiting Edmonton. They're gonna be in Edmonton tonight against the Oilers. Edmonton minus 125. Nugent Hopkins had a 2-goal game. Last game, which was against, let's see, who was the last game against? Oh, against Arizona. They won 8-2 here. So offensive explosion against Arizona for Edmonton. But Minnesota, winning 4 out of their last 5 games, dropping their first they do their Canada road trip here. They've dropped their first in the Canada road trip to Calgary, 5-3. But nonetheless, I think they pick it up here against Edmonton. I've been questioning Edmonton's ability to play defense and to tend their goal. Obviously, the offense is no short thereof. But I just think at this point, Marc-Andre Fleury, probably probably lets up a little bit, maybe too many goals a game here, honestly. 3.10 goals against. He's 9-6-1 in the season, though. And that's because Minnesota plays great defense, has great offense. Give me Minnesota here. I'll say 4-3.
All right. So I'm gonna go with the Coyotes. I know it's crazy. Boston minus 335. I can't believe you didn't take
Yeah.
Tony. I can't believe you didn't take Boston.
I knew you would take the Coyotes and lose.
21-3-1 for Boston. Like, again with the Devils, they gotta lose somewhere, Tony. And it's just like I don't know if they know what it's like to play at Mullet Arena,
Oh no,
Tempe, Arizona.
I can see that messing with them.
Campus of Arizona State University.
Legend.
Vizmelka, after Connor Ingram let them down last game, Vizmelka vintage 2-1 Coyotes in overtime. Clayton Keller, game winner, mark it down, upset of the year. Shekels up there could be a nice payday.
That would be a very nice payday.
Yeah, it would.
What was that? Last one, right?
We're
going four?
We're going for
Can we go? We're going four?
yeah, we're going for yeah.
Do that elusive fourth one. Do I take
the Sabres?
Take a third dog tonight?
Take the Sabres. If you're excited for Thompson,
I know. I
you
really
hate the
take
Penguins.
Thompson. All right, I'll take the Sabres here. I just hope the goaltending doesn't bite me in the ass here. All right, yeah, give me Buffalo. Tage Thompson, 40 points. On the season so far, 21 goals, 19 assists, absolutely on fire. He is, I believe, now chasing Jason Robertson of Dallas to lead the league in goals. I believe he leads the league in points right now. It might be McDavid actually, but I don't know. But 40 points is still a hell of a lot. Crosby sitting there with 35 points, 15 goals, 20 assists, obviously leading the team in goals, in points, in power play points, and power play goals. He's really picked it up after a slow start. But other than that, I mean, I talked about the other guys kind of improving besides Thompson, Dahlin for one, the guy who came over from Vegas, whose name is escaping me right now. But I think Buffalo, a little overlooked. Pittsburgh comes into Buffalo thinking they get the dub. Thinking there's no way this guy's going to score more goals tonight. But it is very possible. Give me Buffalo winning 3-2.
I'm actually going to go with the Blackhawks. Another upset. And I just think it's as simple as, listen, I know the Jets have a better record than the Rangers, but if the Blackhawks can beat the Rangers, the Blackhawks can beat the Jets, especially at home. United Center, always a good crowd. Friday night after work, maybe have some pizzeria Uno and then head to the game. And I just think Kane and Taves just turn back the clock just for one night, Tony. That's all it is. One night, I think each of them will have a goal, and I think the Blackhawks here, front of the home crowd, I think it'll be a tight game early, possibly 2-2 going into the third period, and I think you will see Patrick Kane, the game winner, 20 seconds left in regulation. They'll be chanting his name after the game. And I think Mazurek gets the start here. Been a little rough, 2-5, but has a good game here. And the Blackhawks get a much-needed victory. The water jugs are full, Tony. Wow. You still think we're going to get Patrick Kane? I thought he was full of shit.
It's possible, yeah.
I think you're less excited than you were a couple weeks ago.
I am less excited.
Were you just nothing in the tank? Hibachi, or you need some coffee?
I think a little bit of both.
Honestly,
Honestly,
you need hibachi. Would you have hibachi right now?
Hibachi right now?
Yeah,
that would be like psychotic. Honestly, what time are they? It's only 8 in the morning. Oh my god!
But are you someone like if it's good food, you can eat it at any time?
Honestly, yeah, I probably could.
Yeah,
I would go there with
Wow.
the show and everything.
Wow,
dude.
that is something.
Mm-hmm.
Some good French toast right now would be pretty good, though, right?
Really, French
No,
toast?
you don't like French toast?
I would definitely prefer pancakes or waffles over French toast.
Wow,
Right, no?
French toast is my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, it's so good, so good.
Like you don't like what pancakes?
Oh no, I like pancakes. I just think French toast is better.
Better than pancakes and waffles.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, French toast, real good French toast. Pretty good stuff.
You ever make your own?
Yeah, but it's not as good.
No?
No.
It's so easy to make though. It's like ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah, but for some reason it's always better out. I don't know.
No, yeah, I understand that, but I'm just saying, like for us to be like, oh, let's make it. Just
You need the right bread, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hearty white bread. You
No. That's disgusting.
That's ridiculous.
Gotta have challah bread.
What?
That's what they use.
No, I don't care.
Well, I care.
Pepperidge Farm. Hearty
I don't
bread.
like white bread.
And then you scramble some eggs in there for that. You put a little.
No.
What do you mean?
Because it's just, I don't know. I need the challah bread. I don't know. I just
then you put a little drop of vanilla in the egg.
Vanilla.
In the scrambled egg, and then you dip it in.
Yeah, no, vanilla. I had almond dip French toast actually in Rhode Island
that sounds
a couple
disgusting.
weeks ago. Vanilla almond. It was so good. All right, Tony.
Vanilla almond dipped French toast.
Yeah.
Like, is it like smothered in like it's like a sauce or like what?
It's just like you know how like almond like flavoring is, like
right.
Just picture that, some almonds sprinkled on too. Very good, very good. The vanilla, like a little vanilla extract maybe.
Oh yeah, dude, love vanilla extract. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Are you big like doing French toast for your breakfast, like just French toast and not like anything else?
So it's funny. I literally, because like I just said, I don't really like homemade. I just have it at the diner, maybe once every couple weeks.
But it's like I can't. Whenever I go out and I'm like, wow, I'm kind of in the mood for like French toast or pancakes.
You want the sides.
I kind of want I still want like eggs.
But it's always
too.
But then it's
like,
too much. It is too much. But you think that going in, it's a little light.
I know.
And
then of course, like the diner always has like some like grand slam thing where it's like 2 pancakes, 2 eggs, 2 sausages, hash browns, toast.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh man, dude.
Yeah, it's tough.
We haven't had a good diner.
excursion
in a while.
Yeah. No, some French toast right now would be really good.
Yeah, dude. The gyro omelet.
Gyro omelet.
No?
I don't know.
A little bit of lamb.
Nah, I don't really like lamb. I like gyros though. It's fun. I know, but like. Lamb especially without tzatziki. Ugh, don't even
without tzatziki.
No, I meant like in a gyro form. I guess I could deal with it, but like a baked lamb.
Like a lamb.
Everyone's
chop.
always like, "Oh, lamb chops." I don't like lamb chops,
dude. Lamb chops are so good, dude. Baby lamb chops, you eat like a lollipop.
So, final question for you here, though. Us Monday, sitting here, I want starting. In the NFL, number 1 storyline, what's it going to be?
Oh, Mike White, success.
Do the teammates carry him off the field? Wow. If he throws like a game-winning touchdown, 5 touchdown passes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what's the biggest story in the MLB?
I would say Rodon is signed.
Yankees?
Yeah, Yankees.
I'm gonna agree with you wholeheartedly. But I had to go alternative ways, but I do think both of those things happened. I think number 1, Brady, because everyone has Brady fever. So I think he'll have a pretty good game.
Really?
And they'll finally kind of hit on all cylinders here. So I think as far as the NFL is concerned, that'll be the big story. And as far as the MLB, an alternative from Rodon, I would say Correa to the Giants. The Giants are desperate. And it's crazy because it's so weird. I've never had like almost in any sport where, the Giants winning 3 titles in 5 years. Yeah. It doesn't even seem like it happened. I don't know if it's an East Coast bias thing, but it doesn't seem like they got the respect that they deserve for that.
Yeah, it may be because we're on the East Coast, though.
And the fact that, Bruce Bochy is a 3-time World Series champion manager. He gets another crack here, with the Texas Rangers and DeGrom. It's weird, Buster Posey, that he's a 3-time champ. It's just kind of interesting.
It is very. Imagine Bumgardner, dude.
Yeah. Brandon Belt.
Wow.
So I'm sure some more dominoes will fall. Does Dansby and Correa, in your eyes, get done over the weekend?
Dansby, no, I don't think.
You could see Correa?
I could see Correa because he would probably want to go to the Giants.
Yeah.
Does Dansby really want to go to the Cubs, dude?
I don't know.
Probably not, dude.
Yeah. But I think a lot of teams will be after his services just because of the discount factor.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking about double the contract for Correa. So.
Yeah, true.
But should be an interesting weekend. It starts with the Rangers tonight. It finishes with the Jets on Sunday. And hopefully, too, at some point, Rodon to the Yankees. I just think that really takes us to a new level. And actually, one thing I just want to mention too, I was just looking online and based on what Nimmo, Benintendi, I guess, has been actually like kind of a better player in some regards. But there's talking like 7 years, 100 million. I've been saying I want Benintendi, not for 7 years.
How old is he?
He's like 30,
He's
29, 30.
It's not too bad.
But the lack of power last year was alarming. 5 home runs.
Yeah. True.
I mean, would you feel comfortable with a 7-year deal with him? Honestly, 7 years.
7 years now, no.
And I just don't know if he's $100 million player.
Yeah.
He strikes me as a guy that's worth 3 years, $45 million.
Sounds like you're in like a Nimmo situation almost.
I'll rather take a bite on Conforto, honestly, for 1 year.
That would be dope. Do that
Lefty.
instead. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then you have Cabrera obviously as your backup plan. It's kind of what I think, but a lot of pieces to be, pieces of the puzzle to be determined, Tony.
Oh man.
But I'm really excited about Rodon. I don't know. I just feel like because we haven't really like signed too many big free agents. You think about guys not returning, but just free agents.
Right.
I mean, I guess Cole was the last one.
Yeah, Cole. That's it.
So I mean, that's a long time. You think about how long ago that was. That was
3 years.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since we've dipped our toes
in the free agency pool.
Yeah. So it's exciting stuff.
Yeah, no,
exciting
it is
stuff. How pumped are you for the Mets?
Honestly, why is that so funny?
I don't know. You just seem a little downtrot still.
I mean, I don't know.
You want some
dude.
youth.
Again, I want some youth. I want a nice bat. Is really what I want.
Who is that bat?
Youthful bat? I don't know, dude.
Swanson?
I guess, but I mean, Swanson plays third.
Lindor can play second or no? Lindor could play second.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't want to move off second.
No,
but then I'm saying
definitely
because
not.
then you could put McNeil at third.
Yeah. You'd even throw McNeil in the outfield if you needed to.
Escobar.
Yeah.
But you could trade Escobar, get that tax down.
Yeah, true.
Cohen tax.
The Cohen tax, dude. He spent a lot of money.
Really, they should just sign Correa though.
And then put what? Correa at short?
Or third.
At third?
Who's better at I think Correa might be better defensively than Lindor at short, right?
No,
I
don't think so.
But just that would, you know what I mean? That would be really big for the Mets offensively.
Yeah, that would be huge.
But it doesn't seem like there's any traction.
I know, which is so weird. Why wouldn't Correa want to come to the Mets?
Who would be perfect for the Mets? I feel like Glaber.
You think so?
You wouldn't do Glaber for Miguel?
No.
I feel like that is fair though, because Miguel.
Fair to who?
Both sides.
I don't know. Man.
No, but you know what I mean? It's not like McGill is like some, Cy Young Award winner.
No, but potential.
Really though? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more 3-4 starter. I'm not thinking 1-2 starter.
Well, 3-4 starter, when your first three are like Verlander and Scherzer. Yeah.
I don't know. Playoff time. It's a whole different ball game. He could be looking at Luis Severino in the playoffs.
He could step up, dude. I would still take a shot at him. Glaber, dead in the water.
No, I just want Logan Gilbert and trade Glaber and some prospects. I mean, don't you think that would be a home run?
Logan Gilbert would be awesome.
I don't know if, I think we'd have to give him a couple good ones.
Yeah.
Like maybe Peraza, Glaber, Austin Wells, and Pereira.
You would do it?
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
It's a young pitching. It's exciting, Something to build up. I think he's 26, third year in the league. And then you add Rodon, Team building. We really are meant to be in a front office position.
They should. It's a hell of a pickup right there.
Yeah. So we'll see if they can get something done. We'll see. Other than that, any messages on the way out?
Oh yeah, dude. We have a big day. Craig O's at noon, but around 2:30, we're gonna have a nice screen time episode with Jay and I in studio.
Nice.
I'm talking, a few things. I just had the notes up too, of course. Reset, Brian. A couple of things, mostly about honestly DC, because DC, as you know, Brian has a new CEO, and they just like scrapped a bunch of movies across the board that were in production, just kind of, I guess, resettling sort of deal. And we got like a few trailers to watch. It's gonna be Jay Bird Friday. It's gonna be a good time.
All right. Yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that. But what a week. We really appreciate everybody this week tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. Archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee in costume, merch, downtimetv.com. Watch out for the winter collection. Everybody enjoy the day, enjoy the games, enjoy the weekend. Let's go Rangers and Jets. And we will see you on Monday.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.